Hello. Welcome to a great morning here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There's a lot to discuss and unpack here. Um, Yesterday, we couldn't bring you everything that went on Fiifi-Manfred. So, Thomas Tuchel, I have issues with Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel is most likely to join Chelsea as a retainee. There's a reason why he's the only manager that I'm going to choose at Chelsea Football Club. Real Madrid themselves also have done brilliant job with qualifying to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But then again, it's about real superiority against some of these small teams in the Champions League. The use of extra space, the ball carrying of Jude Bellingham and Mbappe as well. Imagine Mbappe in this team, the goal that Vinicius Junior scored from that wide area, the extra pace in the Madrid team. This is why I think the Madrid team is going to be very, very exciting next season that's going on. Then you look at back at the quality of the signings that Chelsea want to bring in, the financial stuff that's at Chelsea, and why Chelsea are in big trouble financially. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. Welcome to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There's a lot to unpack for you. If you are new to the Fiifi-Manfred community, thank you very much, as always, for joining us. If you are not new, if you are an old member of the community, thank you again. Once again, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. Of course, in the notification, make sure you do turn on all. So it's something that we want to hear from you. We want to do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, the notification turning. Make sure you do choose all. It's important so that once any video drops, you are first to get it. Let us get into the conversation. So, about 3 years ago, we all know that Thomas Tuchel is going to leave the job at Bayern. And if you remember how he left Chelsea, a lot of Chelsea fans felt that Thomas leaving Chelsea wasn't the right time, was a good one. I mean, again, you look at Thomas Tuchel's time at Chelsea, and everybody will agree that it was a match made in heaven. I mean, two sets of people. I mean, the club and then the manager himself looked like two people that understood each other, that loved each other, especially for Thomas Tuchel. And I think that it was in and around when he had lost his wife. So I think in when Chelsea won the Champions League in 2022, 2021, that was the last time he celebrated with his wife and his kids on the pitch. Then a year after, the sanctions were beginning to come. And then Thomas Tuchel had been reported that his wife was filing for a divorce and she wasn't going to be there with him and everything. I think that since then, it has affected Thomas Tuchel to an extent. The divorce from his wife, the issues with the court case and whatnot. I think that really has affected him. And you look at how things have unfolded from then. I think that Thomas's career has taken some sort of a nosedive, but he's a strong guy, a very, very strong guy. And that's the reason why he's still where he is and he's still succeeding at what he does. And I think that in the last game that Man Bayern played against Lazio, it was testament of the quality of Thomas Tuchel's tactics. The use of the wide area, extra man in build-up, players in between the lines was again testament of the quality of Thomas Tuchel and his coaching ideas and and what he can do as a coach. Now the bigger problem with Thomas Tuchel is that for him to succeed, he needs players that are committed to his cause. Because Thomas's tactics are very, very tough, they're very, very regimented, they are very, very straight down in. And before you can before you can get the best of these tactics, the players have to be at a level where they believe, they strongly believe that they believe in the manager's tactics that this is going to work. And that is where usually there is a little dichotomy between Thomas Tuchel and sometimes his implementation with respect to the players. And for me, it's one of the reasons why he has had the issues that he has had at Bayern in recent times because I don't think that Thomas Tuchel should be suffering as much in terms of tactically not winning games and whatnot. Now, Thomas is a high quality manager and he has to be winning everything. So, yesterday when Pletigo announced that Thomas hasn't ruled out returning to Chelsea, I mean, I just smirked because Thomas Tuchel is the only manager that I may let Pochettino go in the middle of the season for or at the end of the season for. Now, this is the reason. I mean, let Thomas Tuchel come in for Mauricio Pochettino for just these few reasons. Again, one, I think it's the fact that he had that connection with the fans. And Chelsea's fan base is very toxic. It has been very toxic for a while now. especially given the fact that people just want to win and they don't care about the process of winning, especially winning consistently. People just do not care about that. They just want to win. And that's my little problem. If I'm bringing Thomas Tuchel in, I'm bringing in because he is somebody that has a connection with the fans. He was loved by the Chelsea folk. Um, Everybody in and around the Cobham and Stamford Bridge believed in Thomas Tuchel. Why? Because Thomas Tuchel knows the media game. In the modern game at the top, the Jose Mourinho's, the Pep Guardiola's, the Ancelotti's, the Thomas Tuchel's, the Jurgen Klopp's, they are the best also in the press room. They are the best at answering questions. They are the best at taking a dig at someone. They are the best at taking a swap at someone. They are the best at evading questions. Also, you can realize that these guys have honed their practice or they learn English early, especially English early once they have it naturally. So Pep is very charismatic, knows how to go around these things. But after he learns the English word and has gone through training, he knows how to navigate his way to stuff like that. And Thomas Tuchel has it. And for the Germans, it's even a little bit easier because they learn English from basic school, from childhood as a second language as well, together with German. And that is what makes them good. Thomas Tuchel's English is almost impeccable. Same for Jurgens. If you're speaking to every German, they speak English almost impeccably. And that's the thing. So if Thomas comes in, the press room is not going to be a little toxic again. He knows the right things to say. He will protect the owners if they're on tandem. And then, of course, he will make sure that he does the thing they're supposed to do. So, I mean, Thomas is the guy that can turn things around. I mean, and the charisma. Yeah, he's very, very charismatic and he can get the fans on board more. My only problem with Thomas Tuchel is he ready to accept that he has made mistakes in the past and then change them? Is he ready? Because trust me, the owners do believe that Thomas Tuchel did not believe in their vision. And I've told you before, if you do not believe in your owner's vision, then definitely you have no rights being there because the owners own the club and they have a vision that they want to go in. You want to win today. The owner said, no, we can sacrifice winning today to win consistently in the next 5 years. I want to do that. So are you ready to go that journey with me? If you're not ready to go that journey with me, then you need to sit somewhere. And of course, you'll be hearing report of how the likes of Julian Nagelsmann and the likes could not impress the Chelsea ownership because they didn't buy into the process and stuff like that. That's true. Those stuff are there because at the end of the day, you need to. They want you to buy into their process. This is what I want to do, and I need a manager. Are you the manager to come and go in that direction for me? If you can't go in that direction, then it means that you have to go. Somebody else has to come because obviously the business is mine. I can't leave, and that's the thing at Chelsea Football Club. And again, it's the reason why I go back every time and I tell you that for me, Mauricio Pochettino is a guy that fits seamlessly at Chelsea because he is not at the extremes. He's not neither too calm or too hot. And that helps because he knows when to hit hard, when to hit cold, when to below. And if you look at all of these things, especially in the change of week of conversation about managerial change and then um, player incomings and whatnot, and then you ask yourself, in all of these things, player incomings, managerial change, and whatnot, and look at things like has what has really affected Chelsea's growth in the season. One of the things that you know you are going to talk about first of all is the inconsistency with injuries. And yesterday there was a statistics I chanced on. The only Chelsea player that has been available all through the season has been Axel Disasi. Just one player. Everybody seems to get injured. Noni Madueke, Trovo Chaloba, Conor Gallagher, Cole Palmer. Everybody at some point in time gets injured or gets sick or something. And it's the reason why you just have to look at Mauricio Pochettino and say, maybe it's just not this guy. Maybe it goes beyond. And for me, that's the thought. It goes beyond just Mauricio Pochettino. And sometimes you can understand that, well, while these things are all there, while these things are out there, you want to still win. But it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen right now. You ought to be patient. And that's it with Chelsea and then everything that's going on there. And I know that's going to be a pretty difficult summer for Chelsea in making their decisions in there. So quite apart from that, Chelsea have been linked to some players, Nico Williams, first of all, Victor Guy Koresh, in there, Victor Osimhen. But then the truth is that financially, Chelsea may not be in the place to bring these players to Stamford Bridge because Chelsea have reported to have had a net loss of about 90 million. We'll talk about the financial conversation of Chelsea sooner rather than later. But the big deal is that Chelsea want to make sure they stay in it for FFP, that they don't go away from FFP and then they stay in terms of regulation. The team has said that most of the financial issues that they are having is from the old administration and definitely not from them. So that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's in terms of finances. If you listen to Jose Feliciano when he says that he wants the team to be a viable business like this, you don't want to be having losses. Just that the last year Chelsea had 113 loss. This time they have just 90 million. They want to reduce the loss as time goes on. Player sales and everything are going to be part of it. Get some more money, make the club more viable, put it on a much more viable scale, and then take things from there. I think that that's going to be a very, 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 very excellent stuff for Chelsea this season. I mean, this season and more, if you're able to get things right with respect to their finances and then take stuff from there. And I'll read what Jacobs Ben put together for you in terms of Chelsea's finances and the conversation around all of that. I'll get back to you. Yeah, great. So, I mean, Chelsea's speaking to a lot of people in terms of coaches and stuff like that. And then, but hey, look at Chelsea's injuries. Benjamin Chilwell is out again just when Marco Correa returned. And then I hear Leverkusen is only also out. And then Berabel Ashilezi. Wow, that's actually a disgrace. It's a shame that Chelsea keeps on losing. I think that the real reason behind Chelsea's injury problem this season, I'm sorry, it has to be Mauricio Pochettino's methods. I think that's maybe they're just too intense. And then for players that have been playing so much, so these players are young, they haven't played so many games, so their injuries will begin to come. And also, if they're having extra intensive training at Cobham, then definitely it's going to be a big one. And I've heard some players who have trained under Mauricio Pochettino say that um, Pochettino's training sessions are even more intense the day before the game, and that seems to put players at risk. I don't know if it's still same today, but I think that may be a reason. Bayern also had an issue with respect to the hybrid pitch that he had at the Allianz Arena. It was apparently, according to them, was some of the underlying reasons why they were getting a lot of injuries last season. They changed it. I think that maybe Chelsea have to look at some of these things: the pitch, the intensity of Mauricio Pochettino's training, and then to look at the fact that if they can have a holistic look of their process of medicinal help for their players and how they can sort that out. Benjamin Chol is going to see a specialist as it stands now. Levi Cole is out, Marco Correa just returned, Benoit Belachile just returned, and a lot of other players are continuing the rehabilitation problem. And it's a big deal. Conor Gallagher too hasn't trained for a very long time, and it's a big deal in the end. Mauricio Pochettino said that in his pre-match press conference that hey, when we talk about all of these things, we talk about the project and whatnot. Things like injury have delayed the growth of the project, and I think it makes sense. You just can't run away from that reason. You just can't hide away from it. It's a valid reason why Chelsea may be where they are as it stands now in terms of the growth of everything that Chelsea have been in. Chelsea's newsletter is here. I'll read that quickly to everybody, and then we'll go on with the final bit of the show. It says that Chelsea sees that latest transfer results have been impacted by sanctions. So sanctions on the Roman Abramovich placed on Roman Abramovich, and add that they are compliant with UEFA and Premier League financial regulations. Important to note: the overall net loss of 653 is for Blue Coal 22, not just Chelsea. You would expect Blue Coal results to be less profitable than any one club due to costs incurred in holding company level and purchase purchase price according to drivers amortization. As per UK accounting standards, when a business acquires another business, as Blue coded Chelsea 2022, you have to value you have the revalue and acquired company's assets at the time of the purchase at market values rather than history books, but only in account of the purchaser. This is called purchase price allocation. This exercise can also generate a non-tangible asset such as brand and goodwill. Therefore, if the market value of the asset is greater than the book value of the asset as well, this will in turn increase amortization charges with Blue Co. Great. Um, Great. So that's all Chelsea, and then their injury woes. We got to the rest as well. Um, there's also this bit in despite the loss in the year and the continued fallout from the sanctions of placed on the club in the prior year, the club continues to comply with UEFA and then the Premier League financial regulations. And there was a full statement in the um, Chelsea's parent club Blueco made that loss in March 2022 and June 2023, driven by investment of Chelsea's men and women's playing squads. Chelsea's pre-tax loss in the past 12 months was 90.1 million compared to 121.4 million in the previous year. Churches grew overall revenue from 481.3 to 512.5 million, made profits on disposal, player registrations, and fixed assets on 142 million, and that increase in their income. And Chelsea also increased commercial revenue from 33.0 million to 210.1 million. And that is it for Chelsea Football Club. There's an acceptance that the group's income is affected primarily by the performance of Chelsea's men first team. A significant portion of the group's revenue is dependent upon strong performance of teams in the Premier League, domestic, and European Cup competitions. So Chelsea are in trouble in terms of financial regulations, and they need to sort things out by the summer. Again, thank you very much as always for choosing me on Fiifi-Manfred. It's an honor. Like we told you every day, it is at 10 a.m., 4 p.m. This is going to be the 10 a.m. We'll bring you that's at 4 p.m. as well. Make sure you stick and stay.